Hello and welcome Libra to How to Attract Abundance for August 2024. I really hope I've been saying August in my other videos and not July. I just kind of had that revelation right now, but I don't think I did. But anyway, before I start this reading, I don't normally do this. For a while, I was starting on my phone call readings with like clairvoyant visions. But I guess this is like clairsentience. Because before I started doing this reading, like my mouth felt like it was filled with like salt water, and like I felt like all exhausted, like I'd been at the beach all day. And I know it's summertime and it's like, people go to the beach or whatever, but it almost felt like somebody drowned there or something, like drowned in sand. And like, you know how like beach sand like is like dirty or whatever? So it's like that dirty beach sand kind of taste, and then like salt water. So that's something like this really like sandy type of taste. And then I was cleansing my cards, so whenever I do that, I put like salt over them, and they're still a little like sandy as well. So this is weird. Which I could just say that this whole experience and phenomenon is from the salt all over my cards, maybe like getting into my face, but it's also like this feeling of exhaustion and like being under the hot sun all day, like at the beach or something. And I love going to the beach, but like between sandflies and public toilets and things like that, it's not always what it's cracked up to be. I mean, there's obviously nicer beaches in the world, but like at the core, it's like your phone gets so hot that it stops working, and it's like, and then you're out there too, and you're not a phone at all. But anyway, I love the beach. Okay, so Libra. How can Libra fortify, boost, and bolster those good, abundant feelings in the month of August? Probably maybe not going to the beach. Okay. Okay. So there's a lot of like, I don't know, like angelic beings or something like that going around. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of things are going to come to light about. So there's like this one Libra I knew who was like obsessed with like exposing people's secrets, right? And it was like his whole thing. Which even if your secret was like, I don't know, going to Chick-fil-A or something, like, because he has a bunch of deep, dark, horrible secrets and he's like projecting. So you could be projecting your trauma, I don't know what you call trauma that you create, your chaos onto somebody else. So just be aware of that. Libra and Capricorn are like very similar signs for whatever reason. But so I see like your main focus is around this Page of Pentacles, which is like a young person. So this could be your child, but this also could be somebody who is childish or just like childish people. And then people are gross, like especially men. Like I was talking to this one guy who I think is a Libra, and I was talking about this like sort of famous woman. Let's name her because whatever, Tasha Ford, and I was talking about the situation, how I believe like my mother and Ashley Darby from the Real Housewives hired someone to try to kill me, and that they're currently being extorted by a hitman, probably chopped up into 1,000 pieces. And she was doing a reading for me confirming that, and I mentioned it to one of my dad's friends who's a Libra, and he was like, oh yeah, her daughter's like 18, right? No, her daughter's 14. And how do you know she has a daughter? Because you're a creepy, weird pedophile. And speaking of pedophiles and Libras and air signs, like anybody who tells you they like Comic Sans as a font face, just know that they're a tacky pedophile. And it's like, the thing is like, you can't even call out clean shirts or pedophiles or whatever, because it's a hard word to say. And I'm like, it's really early in the morning for this. So, I mean, I don't know, Libra, you're like old and ugly and you're like a pedo now for whatever reason, because your life has become unbalanced and you're like super upset. Like even like those parents who are like always down at the school with their kid, giving their child a hard time about their relationships, constantly trying to make them feel like they're disappointed, they may not even know that they're trying to lower their children's self-esteem for some type of weird incest shit. And that's why anytime my parents have ever tried to pretend to be disappointed in me, as I know they're creepy weirdos too, they're Capricorns, I've just like turned a deaf ear because I'm like, you're a bunch of failures and losers, and that's why you're spending so much time even talking to a child. Like if you're where you are in life, there's no, you'd be disgusted. Like you wouldn't even want to talk to anybody younger than you. You wouldn't even want them around you, because you're like, this person's gonna take me, like slow me down, take me down, hold me back. Like even to turn the the clock back, like if you're in high school and you're hanging out with a bunch of elementary school students or middle school students, and they're talking about, you know, frickin' ancient China, but you need to be studying about ancient India because that's where your classes are. They're gonna hold you back in just even being around you, you know? So that's something to think about, Libra, as Libra is sometimes way too flirty. And then there's like this, and then the situation is that of temperance. So, you know, we're under the influence of a lot of substances, but then also a lot of like hypnosis and mind control and marketing. And there could even be a big part of marketing that is anti-you, and which makes everybody else anti-you. Like sort of how in the early 2000s, everybody wanted to be Jamaican. And then it was like, oh no, Jamaican culture is super homophobic, like violent and homophobic and all these things. And then what if you're Jamaican? So you go from being king of the hill to being a pariah. And then even within your circle of friends where it's like, okay, the guy who can drink the most or can do the longest keg stand is king. But then when the keg stand king gets liver cancer, it's like, oh, we maybe have to like find a new crown to put on people's heads. And I see that the hidden influence, or what I believe is like taking away or subtracting from your abundance, is the fact that people block you because they know who you are, and they know that you're a Libra, you're a Five of Swords, you like to win by deceit. And there's people that I know, I mean, like winning by deceit, there's people that I know that are in such desperate situations that that's the only way that they can win. Like friends I went to school with who would lie about going back to their home country on vacation because they're trying to put up, not like they're not trying to like necessarily appear to be wealthy or win by deceit, but it's like they have a whole lie. Their whole life is a lie. They have a whole lie that they have to portray. So they're like, oh yeah, I travel, I go back to my home country all the time. I'm most certainly not an illegal immigrant who can't do that at all and who can't travel anywhere. Or who go through extraneous means, risking their freedom and their livelihood for some Instagram photos, trying to keep up in a lie, or trying to impress people that have caught on to their lies and have blocked them. That's the hidden influence. Okay. So what's going to help bolster, fortify, and strengthen your sense of abundance? So what's taking your abundance away is the Two of Swords. What is adding to your abundance? Abundance meaning money, love, feeling happy, feeling content, food in your refrigerator, thoughts in your mind, energy within your body. Abundance is the Two of Cups. So most likely just like picking on somebody your own size, falling in love with somebody your own age, you know. I was thinking about this before this reading, where I know this like old couple, I don't know what their zodiac signs are. I think one of them is a Gemini. And I was talking about slavery, and I was like, you know, I've met slaves before, and a lot of people's wives are slaves, and it's like, you know, especially when they're getting cheated on, they're not being respected, and it's like you don't even make eye contact with those women. You don't make eye contact with them, you don't talk to them, you don't check up on them, because you're like, this person traded away their freedom, you know, for, I don't know, children or a place to live or something, you know, hopefully. And it's like disheartening. So just, I don't know, be aware of like the way you treat people, because like most of the time, people who are held in bondage or in slavery don't know that they are. And then once they become aware of it, they become like very angry. So treat people kindly, like Two of Cups, be nice to people. And the outcome is the Emperor. So that's like, the ultimate card of financial stability and being like master of the house, being looked at as revered as a leader. And it's like you can't really be revered as a leader if you're always chasing around your kids, if you're constantly comparing yourself to the accomplishments of younger people. And it's like, okay, so you might not necessarily be a pedophile, you might be a hebephile, you might be dressing like you're in college and you're 40 and 50 years old, and it's just sad, talking about basketball games and how many times you've been passed around a locker room for clout. And then I see that further down the road, once you grow up, once you accept that you stop shaving your beard off and trying to look 22 when that hasn't happened for the past 33 years, I see that you'll be able to pass down your baton, carry out your bloodline, your lineage. If you have not had custody of your child or access to your child, I see them coming back. So just be aware. And then the thing is too, like about that creepy behavior, is that most of the time it's like passed down. It's like, oh, this was done to me, so I'm going to do it to somebody else. And I think that's something that my aunt experienced, because she has a lot of creepy tendencies, but it's like also she grew up in the 70s, I don't know, but then I guess also when you're overweight and unattractive, it makes you do weird things. Like she would go and, like, I'm gay, so I had a bunch of like girlfriends and stuff when I was in high school, and she would like tag herself in all of my photos. She would like message my friends like she's a high school girl being petty, or like she's trying to sabotage me and my popularity in some way, shape, or form. But it's like, what actually happened is that people are like, oh, Micah has a creepy pedophile aunt who likes to talk to little girls. He needs our help. He's not safe. He has a creepy pedophile uncle who had a child with a 16-year-old when he was 30, and keeps bringing the little fucking incest bastard around in everybody's face. Incest pedophile bastard in everybody's face, like trying to make his weird, disgusting life their issue when it isn't. Literally is friends with people I went to high school with. It's disgusting, you know what I mean? They're gross. And I know that judgment and karma will be served. I mean, it probably already has, to their like failing livers and their aging bodies and balding heads. But it's just like something to be aware of, because then like, you find somebody that you actually like or that you want to be with, and then it's like, why do you have all these people on your Facebook who are 20 years younger than you? Oh, they're friends with my nephew. I don't see him on here. It's like, you're just a creepy pedophile. Okay, well, this has been a great, uplifting, and lighthearted message for Libra, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.